Okay, now we've made it to day 5, and this will also be day 6. We're actually going to use the skills that we've learned, the labeling, the O, the H, and the A, and the deciding on a trig ratio to solve for a missing side. Today is where we put it all together and we do what we could not do with the Pythagorean theorem, and that is solve for a missing side. So we will still be using Desmos, and to solve, in our particular instance, we will need to be in degrees. So in your Desmos, you'll need to click on the wrench every time you open up Desmos and select degrees. So we click on the wrench, and that's in the upper right. And then you tap degrees. And then to get that screen to close, you just tap the wrench again, and it'll go away. Now, here's how we label. Just the way we have been, our hypotenuse. Now, where's our theta? This angle is our theta. So opposite from theta is O. And next to theta is A. So we did that part. We labeled. Now, what I like to do is I like to circle the sides where you have information. So for hypotenuse, I know that the hypotenuse is 13. That's information. For the opposite side, I know that that's our variable. That is information. For A, we don't have any information. So we're going to use the O and the H. And if we think about SOHCAHTOA, we have to now choose sine or cosine or tangent based on what we have information about. So if we think, okay, we have information on O and H, which one of these ratios uses O and H? That is sine. And we're going to write it out. We're going to write it out exactly the way we see it. Sine of theta, but our theta is 25, equals O over H. Now the nice part about this is we can take it and put it directly into Desmos. Here's page 18. I'm taking that sine of 25 equals x over 13. And I'm typing it right into the calculator. Now for sine, you got two choices. You can click on the funcs or functions key, and it'll pop up the trig functions. Or you can simply type in SIN. Either way, Desmos is fine. And where our line crosses the x-axis, that's our answer. So if we wanted nearest tenth, 5.4 would round up to 5.5. Or if we wanted nearest hundredth, we'd go 2 decimal places. And because this is a 4, this would stay at 9. Let's try another one. labeling H. The 32 is our theta, opposite from theta, O. Next to theta, A. Now we're going to circle the sides where we have information. O and A this time. Now, which ratio is that? That's not going to be sine. That's not going to be cosine. That's going to be tangent. And tangent of 32, that's our theta, equals O over A, which is X. So there's our equation. So if we go put it into Desmos, we run into a problem. We run into a big problem. We can't find the X along the blue line. When X is in the denominator, we run into a problem. And I'll show you this more in class. So when X is in the denominator, before we put it into Desmos, we have to cross multiply. So let me show you how to do that. Sorry, using my previous theta. So what we do is we cross multiply and we cross multiply. So this is really like a 1. So 71 times 1 equals tangent of 32 times x. Now, if you look to the left here, you'll see that I typed that in. And that's going to give me a green curve with an answer, which is great. That's great. We don't have to worry now once we've cross multiplied. But when x is in the denominator, notice that there is no blue line. It doesn't know how to solve that. And that's because x has the possibility of being 0. And anytime that happens, the calculators have a lot of trouble. So here's our answer, 113.6. One more, page 20. Labeling. Going to circle where we have information. This time we have A and H, which is cosine. So we'll have cosine of 21. So again, we would have to cross multiply. 24 times 1 equals cosine of 21 times x. And we'll put that in the calculator when we come back together. Just wanted you to see how that works.